Well, mentioning the North London rivals Arsenal there, Mikel Arteta said yesterday in a press conference that he believes that this Man City team that looks like they're going to wrap it up tonight or tomorrow, he thinks they're the best Premier League team of all time. So obviously, this is what we do on early kickoff. We talk about these things and, probably say something that's going to get hounded on social media later. So who wants to go first with the most mad opinion?
Cool. It is a tough one, this. But I don't know whether I'm being sort of nostalgic or because I played against them, but playing against those United teams and playing against the Invincibles.
That's just the look he's giving you, isn't it?
No, honestly, you think about it, I think I've seen it at close quarters. If you try and press people like Paul Scholes, they drop deep and pick passes, David Beckham, Roy Keane in midfield. Even obviously the York and Cole team that won the treble, obviously. And of course, I think this City team are unbelievable. Potentially three Premier League titles in a row. The Champions League looks like it's going to be on the cards as well. If they win the treble, I think they're in the conversation. But having been at close quarters with those United teams and that invincible team with Petit and Vieira and Henry and Bergkamp, it was just an unbelievable. Having played against that team, it was phenomenal.
Yeah, Rio, what was your experience of playing against the Invincibles?
Yeah, they were formidable. They were Vieira and Petit, Gilberto Silva even. Like when you look at these players in midfield, Edu, who's now a technical director there, they were like mountains in there. And I like passing the ball through the lines. And I used to just think, how am I going to get through there with these big spider legs hanging about everywhere? Big wardrobes. But no, they were just a great team. They were potent. They could fight. They were aggressive. They could keep the ball. They had silky players as well. They could do all sides of the games really, really well to a high level. So that's why they went unbeaten and done what they've done. But at the same time, this Man City team, like Crouchy touched upon, 3 in a row, potentially more next season, who knows. Champions League, if they win the treble, they've got to be in the conversation. The consistency, the numbers that they amass for a season, unheard of. So they're a top team.
I've got another team for you. The Chelsea team with Ballack, Duff, Robin, Drogba, JT, Lamps. That was a tough team to play against.
Yeah. That was the Mourinho team is the one that I think a lot of Chelsea fans always point to, and just insanely difficult to beat. They made Stamford Bridge a fortress. You couldn't go there and get anything.
But it's another team that could do different sides of the game. Like sometimes you play against them. They're a great footballing team. But you think if we can get amongst them, like Arsenal for years, if you think they play beautiful football, but if you get right up against them, that's how we used to approach it, then they would fold probably. But this Chelsea team, any way in which they wanted to carve you up, they would, whether it's a fight, whether it's through determination, whether it's overpowering running, whether it's football. They were there for it.
We've got a tweet here using the hashtag EKO. Ben Murphy said the Centurions were a better team than this City team, which I guess is an interesting point because their league performance was better. But this City team, now they've bedded Haaland in, it feels like it's something else. It feels like it's found a new level, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, it does. I think it really was an eye-opener for me when I just watched them dismantle Real Madrid the other day. I felt like that was a game because of Real Madrid's history, pedigree in the competition. Maybe I thought City might be a little bit nervous because it's the one trophy they haven't won. To go and perform like they did in that first half, I think that's now when people like Mikel Arteta are coming out and going, actually, if they've done that to Real Madrid, I think now this is a serious team. And in every single position, you mentioned it before, Rio, like every single position they've improved. They seem stronger, quicker, faster than most teams. They press high, they keep the ball so well, and then they've got a threat from absolutely every angle.
And you talk about, again, they were a team that were about fluid football, passing through the lines, playing beautiful, painting great pictures on the pitch. And if you used to say to it, if you can stop them doing that, you got a chance. But now, again, you try and stop it. They have a plan B, Haaland. They can go direct to him. Pontus mentioned it before. It's a different threat. So they've got many ways in which they can cut you open. And with Pep at the helm, I think he's the best.
I mean, he was confident the other night, wasn't he? He was coming off the pitch against Madrid, shouting at you, saying he told you it was going to happen. Do you think he's sort of refreshed and got new ideas and a new way that he's figured out playing that he's really excited about?
It reminds me a little bit Rain Man-ish. Like he's never settling, and he's always looking for something. You can imagine him that it wouldn't be too kind of wild to think that he's sitting having dinner with his family and they're talking and he's just sitting there moving stuff around on his plate, peas on his plate or something with formations and goes, right, I've seen something, next season he's doing that. You know what I mean?
I'm certain Rafa Benitez used to do that. Certain of it.
But it wouldn't surprise you, would it? Because that's the way he is. But he's so confident, but he's so obsessed. And I think all the greats have that obsession with what they do, and he has that.
Do you think we're on the verge of calling Pep Guardiola the best manager ever? He's got to be up there, isn't he?
He's up there.
It feels like he's reinvented football at least once. Might do it again.
Yeah, without doubt. And I think maybe the stick he gets beat with a few times is the teams he's had, you know. But, you know, it's one. We've seen it even with Paris Saint-Germain at the minute. You know, you've got Messi, Neymar and Mbappe up front. You know, it's a team that should be dominating European football. You know, it's not as easy as that. Yeah, you've got to have, you need big players and you need to spend money to get right. But you need to make it gel. You need to make it work. You need to make it work consistently. And he's done that on such a regular basis. And he's never fallen below the standards that he's set, and it's he has to be in the conversation for the best of all time.
I think one separator as well for him is that he's a manager that he's created a whole new way of thinking of football for a whole generation of people and the whole pyramid of football. So we see Sunday teams now who used to go back to front, kicking the ball, playing out like they're watching Man City and Pep's teams. And that's the whole pyramid of football that's doing that. I don't know many managers probably since Cruyff that's done that.
Yeah, it's horrible, and Hackney Marshes have ruined it.
Oh.
It'll work now. It's disgusting. We had a tweet up there from Abdul saying Pep Guardiola will become the best manager in football history if he wins the treble. And having done what he did in Barcelona, to then replicate it here, where we've only
in
had...
Germany.
Yeah, and in Germany. But
Well,
he didn't get the treble in Germany,
He
yeah.
dominated domestically.
The big debate would be him or Fergie, though, right? And what side do you take there?
Yeah, obviously my relationship with Sir Alex Ferguson and what he brought to my career, I couldn't kind of vote against him, but I do respect what Pep's done, and I think that it's a conversation to be had between the two, I believe, because that's the impact both of these guys had on football in this country and in European football has been immeasurable.
Yeah.
I think the only issue with that is just longevity. I think if Pep Guardiola stays at the same kind of time as Alex Ferguson, I think that's when you compare him. It's because Alex Ferguson's an institution in the Premier League. He's been here, 25 years. I think that's the only difference.
We've got their honours list here. Pep Guardiola won 14 trophies at Barcelona, 7 at Bayern Munich, and 11 so far at Manchester City. So 32 so far. Alex Ferguson had 48, but it's technically 48 and a half because he shared a charity shield. I'm not sure if he's counting that one, but we'll give it to him. But yeah, Pep Guardiola is on a pace where it looks like he might catch up with that.
Yeah, but football, you can never believe that, because I remember Michael Owen, he was at a mad pace to break every record goal scoring wise, and then got an injury, got a few injuries and changed clubs, etc., and it didn't happen. So you can't always go with that. But at the moment, Pep Guardiola, there's no one near him, I don't think, who's currently managing.